What do you know about genomic medicine? It may sound like science fiction or a bit futuristic, but in tonight's Growing Up San Diego report, we explain how local doctors are using genome sequencing to save lives.
The genome is the code of life. It's a blueprint for being a human being, and everybody's blueprint's different. It's the full instructions for making you, you.
That blueprint is complex.
It's the equivalent of a book 425 feet tall. That's how much information it requires to code for a human.
But now, thanks to cutting-edge technology, doctors are able to read that book to find any errors by decoding a patient's DNA.
It just takes one mistake to trigger a genetic disease.
The process is called whole genome sequencing, and here at Rady Children's Institute for Genomic Medicine, they're using it to save the lives of babies.
She's just received a sample. It's what we call ultra-rapid. This means it's a critically ill baby.
Dr. Stephen Kingsmore is president and CEO of the Institute, where during our visit, we watched scientists race against the clock.
And here we do the next steps to get the DNA ready to go onto the sequencer.
And this is the sequencer that will hopefully help that baby's doctor and parents. It will read the baby's genetic code and identify what's causing the baby to be so sick. Outside of this institute, it's a process that can take weeks, even months. But Dr. Kingsmore and his team have done it in under 20 hours. In fact, he holds the Guinness World Record for fastest genetic diagnosis. Here's why minutes matter.
In some cases, you have to get the treatment immediately, or else the baby's going to die, or you'll have things like organ failure.
The diagnosis of a genetic disease in under a day is something that was unheard of just a decade ago.
It's fairly astonishing that we can actually decode that and make sense of it in a day. You know, the first human genome, it took 13 years to decode. There are billions of holes in this channel.
Dr. Kingsmore credits San Diego-based Illumina for this groundbreaking technology that helps pinpoint which of the 14,000 known genetic disorders a baby has, allowing for the proper treatment and often making the difference between life and death.
This is probably the most exciting application for Illumina's technology. You know, there's nothing else today where you can say, wow, I saved a life this week.
Go home at the end of the day and you save a life. And Rady Children's Hospital and Illumina, they've been partners, and Dr. Kingsmore actually moved here to be close to Illumina because he says, hey, make a machine that could possibly do this, and then they come back and say, okay, try this.
And so it's a scale thing right now. They've got a few of these machines. They can't do a ton of kids at one time because there's only a few.
Not
Those
yet.
are something, yeah, right. That's the challenge at this point.
One day, hopefully every baby can have their genome tested, and then you can identify genetic problems before they hit. Yeah.
With the way computers work, shorter and shorter times, that seems like it's just down the road.
To think it went from 13 years now to a day is incredible.
Amazing stuff, amazing stuff.